What's going on, guys? This is Matt Horner with Sports Mockery, welcoming you all back to the Wager Sphere to get you set to bet on Monday Night Football tonight, which is the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns in Monday Night Football. Should be a really good game. Should be great. I really think this is a game that's going to be like, one, I know it's going to be significantly important in the playoff race. There's no doubt about that. So, any games that are significant in the playoff race that are being played on prime time, probably want to watch it. Not going to lie. It's going to be a really fun game. First of all, I mean, how can I not react in the video after what we witnessed on Sunday? The Bears dominating in a 36-7 win. Now, I know all of you are probably cheering. We're like, wow, Mitch Trubisky is back on track. Look, the offense has been amazing since Mitchell has come back in here. We've been so good. The defense got back on track today. 6-7 now. We're going to make a run. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to go 9-7, right? We're going to be a playoff team this year. Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't feel the optimism. Okay, I do not feel the optimism. Yeah, great. You beat the Texans. The Texans are terrible. Okay, I literally went over the Texans, the worst, like one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL, if not the worst rushing defense in the NFL. They got clobbered. Again, the Bears were incredibly stupid. I mean, you got 80-yard touchdown on the first play, and Montgomery sees 11 touches after that. What type of world are you living in? Like that makes zero sense. Like none. Okay. So and Trubisky's performance, yeah, great. It's the Texans defense. He did great against the Lions defense. They scored 25 against the Packers. I mean, the Lions, they just scored a bunch against the Packers and they made me not cover that number because the Packers defense really isn't that great. So all I'm saying is I would not take too much out of that. And certainly, I just wouldn't be cheering right now. Like I wouldn't. Like I was actually like legitimately now. Yeah, I'm a Bears fan. I love the Bears, but I think what's best for the Bears, honestly, is losing because Ryan Pace. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Ryan Pace. Okay, if you watch these videos, you know exactly how I feel about Ryan Pace. The man is a utter disaster as the general manager of the Bears, and any wins are just going to add to his, the McCaskies might think, oh, Ryan, you went 9-7 and we made a wild card berth in the playoffs. You deserve to stay around another year. You sport. No. We need to get rid of Ryan. Okay. He's a complete disaster. And any wins at this point, just, make it more plausible that he stays around, which we don't want. We don't want Ryan Pace. He needs to go no matter what. I don't care if they win out. I don't care if they make a wild card berth. The man needs to be fired. Period. End of story. Matt Nagy, that is a situation where you can make an argument one way or the other whether he should stay. He owns some of this for sure, but there's no question to me. No matter what happens, they need to fire Ryan Pace. So yeah, Bears won. That's great. The Texans suck. We'll see what happens against the Vikings next week. I feel like we could do the same thing we did last year. This is like the Cowboys win last year, right? Where we won. We were all in high spirits and stuff like that, thinking the Bears were going to do something. They finish 8-8, and I could very easily see that happening with this team. They finish 8-8, and I think an 8-8 finish does get Ryan Pace fired. So I'm all for it. 8-8. Yeah, that's great. Ryan Pace, as long as you're at the door, I don't care, bud. So that's my thoughts after the Bears 36-7 dominating win over the wonderful now 4-9 Houston Texans in the Ryan Pace Bowl. So let's get on to the game at hand. Monday Night Football, Baltimore Ravens, and the Cleveland Browns. First, though, I want to tell all of you about our friends over at DraftKings. Now, DraftKings is offering you a fantastic deal right now. I've been telling you guys this every single video. Up to $1,000 deposit bonus for all of you who sign up with a new account on DraftKings Sportsbook. So you want to go there, link in the description box below this video, and you want to go there and you want to create a new account and you want to opt in to this up to $1,000 deposit bonus. When you do that, you deposit a minimum of $5 into your new DraftKings Sportsbook account. And when you do so, you will get 20% back of whatever you deposit. So if you're a novice bettor, if you're somebody who doesn't do this very often, if you're watching this video for the first time and you're wanting to get into sports gambling, go to DraftKings, create a new account, opt into this deal, put $5 in there, you get a free buck. 20% of $5 is a buck. So you get a free dollar, so you get $6, and you can bet that $6 on this game tonight, the Ravens and the Browns. So why not go do it? Because you know why? It's free money. And who doesn't want free money? If you're a hardcore bettor, you put $5,000 in there, you get a free grand. That's where the up to 1,000 comes from. You get a free $1,000. That's 20% of 5,000. So no matter if you're hardcore, if you're a novice here, you're new to the wager sphere, DraftKings is offering you free money. No matter what the value is, it is still free money. So go there, sign up today, claim your free money, and bet on this wonderful playoff matchup we have tonight with the Browns and the Ravens. So let us get to this actual game. So you've got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Cleveland, as I have said. So the Ravens are coming off a big win against the Dallas Cowboys, which kept their playoff hopes alive by beating the Cowboys, which they should, because the Cowboys are utterly terrible unless they're playing the Cincinnati Bengals, who, one of the worst defenses in 5, 8, 10 years. I mean, their defense is terrible. So the Cowboys win today, but the Ravens got a much needed victory their last time out against those Dallas Cowboys, and it kept their playoff hopes alive. So now they're traveling to Cleveland, a division rival who they have absolutely owned recently. I mean, just flat out owned them. They played the Browns in week 1 of this year. Again, that was week 1. That was a long time ago, and absolutely crushed them. What was it? 38-7, I believe the final score of that game was in Baltimore. Destroyed them, like straight up obliterated them in that game. But these teams are two different teams at this point. The Ravens are 7-5. The Browns are 9-3. The Browns are 9-3, folks. Believe it. Cleveland is going to the playoffs, almost certainly at this point. Cleveland is going to make a playoff berth. They clinched their first winning season since 2007, 13 years ago. And very well, I mean, they're in a really good position, like I just said, to make the playoffs for the first time since 2002. So it's been a long time coming for Browns fans, and I am very happy for you guys. Hopefully, our Chicago Bears can get a playoff victory for the first time in what seems like since I was born. It's been a while. So it's been a long time since we got a playoff win. 10 years for the Bears. So pretty sickening, but very happy for you Browns fans out there watching this video. So with that being said, Cleveland is coming off a dominating performance against the Tennessee Titans. The final score was 41-35, but honestly, it was much more thorough than that. Like, the Titans scored a ton late in the game, pretty much garbage time at that point. The Browns raced out to a massive lead over the Titans. Baker Mayfield threw 4 touchdowns in the first half. In one half, that is literally the first time a Browns quarterback has done that in 69 years. Yeah, nice. So really, they just had an incredible performance, and the Ravens also had a good win over the Cowboys. So these two teams coming off victories. They're both riding high right now. Let's see who wins, right? So our spread in this game, the Browns are getting no respect. None. 9-3. Nobody seems to care. The Browns are at home in Cleveland. Nobody still seems to care. The Ravens are laying 3 points against the Browns at home in Cleveland. To me, this is more of a pick-'em type game. I really don't feel like either team should be that favored in this game. Like, if anything, maybe the Browns. Like, I guess people still look at the Ravens and they have an extremely talented roster. They have the reigning MVP and Lamar Jackson, but they just haven't been playing great. Like, they can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the talent on the paper you want, but overall, the Ravens haven't been playing, football. People still have this image in their head of last year's Baltimore Ravens, which just, ran shack through the NFL. That isn't this team. They're not that dominant like they were last year. The Browns, meanwhile, I can understand why people are hesitant with them. Baker Mayfield is on and off. He's as hot and cold as you get. He's extremely volatile at quarterback, but the Browns seem to know how to best manage Baker Mayfield. And by that, I mean they're going to lean towards the running game with their absolutely dominant running attack. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb just pile up yards. I mean, they just lay yards on people running the football, and the Browns know that, and they use that to their advantage. So that way, Baker usually will get relegated to a game manager type of quarterback where he is very successful. When you ask Baker Mayfield to throw a ton in a football game, usually that doesn't end up too well. I guess unless you're the Tennessee Titans, who have a pathetic defense. But usually against a competent defense, it doesn't end up very well when Baker throws a ton. But if he's limited, if he is a game manager type quarterback, he can make the throws. He can make those throws, but he can't be the star. The running attack needs to be the star for the Browns, and I think the Browns finally realize that, and that is what they're going to do in this game. That being said, I would take the Browns +3. It looks like they're going to get 3.5 right now. The Ravens -3 is currently juiced at like 115. I think it may be up to 120 in some places. So people are going on the Ravens. If you get the Browns at 3.5, which I would advise you wait a little bit, and if you see 3.5, I would nab that for the Browns because I think this is more of a pick'em game, honestly, and I think the Browns do have a chance to win this game outright over the Ravens. So I would take the points with the Browns because I don't really see an advantage here either way, and when I'm getting points, I'll take them in that case. The total is 45.5. I do predict this. They're going to run the football a lot. Both of these teams are probably going to run the football quite a bit. So I don't really want to do anything with the total at this point. I might suggest the under, but that is not an official play. That's just more of a lean, I guess you would say. But right now, 45.5 seems right for these two teams. So I don't have any play with that, but I would take the Browns +3 or 3.5. I would definitely wait and see if you can get 3.5. If not, 3, I think, is pretty decent for the Cleveland Browns. In terms of player props in this game, I have a whole list of them on the article here. Read through all those player props, just a bunch of stats of trends, things that have been going on lately from our friends at DraftKings. I do like the rushing attacks here. Gus Edwards, even though I think J.K. Dobbins is easily the best running back for Baltimore, Edwards seems to be getting a decent amount of carries, and his rushing prop is very low, and I think he can achieve that on the Browns. Where the Browns are really vulnerable is the passing attack, but can Lamar Jackson actually be able to pass the ball decently enough so that he can take advantage of how bad the Browns are against the pass? And that's something you need to think about because he hasn't been that great throwing the football. Mark Andrews has dominated the Browns in the past. Marquise Brown has dominated the Browns in the past, but this isn't the same. It's just different, and I don't think people quite realize that. But I do like the rushing attacks in this game. J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, I would like them. I would take a look at their overs. And then Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, I would definitely take a look at them as well for sure in this football game. So with that, there's your preview of the Browns and the Ravens on Monday Night Football tonight. So all of you, make sure to watch that game. It's going to be a really fun one. Bet on that game, and of course, you want to bet on it with DraftKings Sportsbook. The link in the description box below will get you free money to bet on this game. You can tail me, you can fade me, do whatever you want, but just go sign up and get your free cash and bet on the game because we all want to win, and we all want more of a purpose in watching these games, which is what makes betting so much fun because it's not the Bears, right? It's not the Chicago Bears. We're not watching them. But this gives us a real relegated interest in watching these other primetime games. When you have something riding, it's just that much better. So I will see all of you in the next article, and I will see all of you in the next video here in the Wager Sphere for Sports Mockery. All of you have a very pleasant night, and I hope all of your bets cash out. Good night, folks.